Hey, how's it going guys? Nate here with my Ark Survival Evolved Early Access review. If you have me added as a friend over on Steam or even Xbox Live for that matter, you can attest that I've been playing this game for a very ridiculously large amount of time over the past couple of months. I think I've sunken in at least 50 hours into this game thus far, and even then, I'm not really done with Ark yet. I haven't experienced everything there is to. It's truly a massive game, and that really serves to its benefit. But mind you, Ark is still in early access. Its full release won't be coming until what's estimated to be June or July of 2016. There's still a ways to go before the game fully comes out, so everything I say is definitely subjected to change. Constantly right now at the moment, the devs are updating the game almost weekly, adding in new patches that add new dinosaurs, weapons, things like that. It's definitely an evolving game. That's not done just yet, so bear that in mind. Also, unfortunately, the game is not available on the PlayStation 4 at the moment, and it won't be until its full release this summer. It is only available on Steam via Early Access and on the Xbox Live Marketplace. But with all that out of the way, without further ado, let's do further with the review. When I first started playing Ark Survival Evolved, I was initially looking for some real form or sense of direction, or what to do next. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I invest my upgrade points into this stat? Should I build over here? What do I do? And I kept looking for direction and never really found it. And then I realized that's the point. Ark Survival Evolved is a sandbox. It allows you to do almost whatever you want. It seems as though Wildcard, the developers for this game, followed a unique philosophy of trying to say yes to the player as much as possible, which is obviously a good thing. Hey, can I tame this gigantic long-necked Brontosaurus and ride it? Yes. Can I go out and explore this gigantic underwater cave and even build a base down there? Yes, you can. And that philosophy has worked out very well, and I feel like it's one of the best things Ark has going for it. It's just massive sense of sandbox that the game promotes and allows. Very similar to, it emulates Rust and Minecraft in a sense, just with the massive amount of freedom that you're given. However, that said, there are some drawbacks to this lack of direction. And well, before I continue with this tangent, admittedly, Ark does have some direction. Essentially, you are encouraged to gather resources, build a base to put those resources, and the rest is dependent whether you're playing PvE or PvP, which I'll get into later. But after say you're playing single player, right, and you've built up a pretty nice base, you've got a lot of resources in there, you've got nice things going on, you've got a nice little setup, and you've basically conquered the world. There's no dinosaur you can't kill or tame. You're on top of the world. Now you're left with nothing to do. There's no storyline to pursue. There's no real quest line that you have to fulfill. There's no lore to look for. It's really just like, all right, like I guess I'm done. And I hate that so much because I've got a single player world in which that's the exact circumstance I put into. I'm on top of the world, baby. There's nothing left for me to conquer because I've conquered pretty much everything. And now I just want to look for elements of the storyline, and I can't do that. I want to know, why am I on this island? Why am I here? What's the purpose of this whole thing? Personally, I've just formatted the excuse that it's probably aliens or something. This is probably the result of my addiction to the History Channel as well, but I don't know, and that's the thing that really irritates me, the fact that not only do I not know, but that I can't know until the game fully releases, and even then, we might not be given a full explanation. So I wish the developers would put more time and allocate more resources into giving us a proper storyline that at least provides some sense of explanation. However, if you're playing on a multiplayer server, the game is going to distract from this rather well. You're not really going to be worried about a storyline because you'll be very busy competing with other players through its multiplayer mode. So Ark Survival Evolved offers PvE and PvP. PvE is player versus environment, in which players basically can't engage in hostile action between each other. It's impossible for a player to kill another player. No player can break into your base and steal your things. Basically, you don't have to worry at all about players. And at first, when I heard of this game mode and I played it for the first time, I didn't really see a point. I said, well, wait a minute. If you don't want to be bothered by other players, just play single player. But then I kind of understood the point behind it. On PvE, you can show off the things you build. You can show off the massive mansion you made. You can show off all the cool dinosaurs you've tamed. You can really have a cool experience. You can talk to the other players and all that good stuff without really worrying about being attacked by another tribe. You don't have to worry about losing all the things you build up and show off. It's quite nice, and it's quite peaceful. It takes away from that social anxiety and paranoia you'll feel on a PvP server, which, admittedly, I kind of like that feeling, but it's kind of nice to escape from it every now and then. On one of the PvE servers I play on, it's like a little village we've established, and every now and then I'll go out and I'll talk to the other people. I've been trying to show off this massive, like, new, I don't want to call it a house, but I guess that's what it is. I want to show off this, like, this house thing I built to the other players, and I can do that without worrying about anyone destroying it or killing me and setting back my progress. Essentially, on PvE, since you don't have the threat of being attacked by other players, you're always going to be progressing in a net upward direction. You're always going to be getting more and more resources. You're always going to be building more and more cool things. Whereas on PvP, it's the exact opposite. You'll be building up, building up, building up, and then someone could rage you or kill you, and then you're set back down a step, really. So PvP is the second game mode, as mentioned before, and oh my god, this is the most fun there is, because it promotes this level of social anxiety and fear and just all-out paranoia and adrenaline like nothing else I've ever played in a game at all. And coming from someone who plays Rust a lot, I still didn't really get the same feeling when I played Ark. I feel like Ark is definitely one of the most high-stakes games I've ever played, and I love it for that in its PvP mode. Because in PvP, it's the exact opposite of PvE, in which player versus player hostilities aren't only allowed, they're encouraged. You're encouraged to attack other players and steal their things. You're encouraged to attack other players' bases and steal everything that's inside of them and make all their stuff your stuff now. And that's pretty amazing, because you'll find yourself up really late at night, preparing the defenses in your base, making sure it doesn't get attacked. Or the exact opposite, you'll find yourself preparing to attack another player's base with this massive amount of coordination and preparation. And you'll find, at times, one of the worst feelings in the world, which you will experience eventually if you play PvP, is you will have invested dozens and dozens of hours into this game, and then that could all be wiped away completely when another tribe comes in and takes all your stuff and raids your base and kills you. So it's quite amazing how that really just, how your heart will sink when that moment happens, and how all your emotions are really amplified through this game mode. It's quite amazing and brilliant how it's able to do this. And one might argue that games like Rust are able to emulate this feeling quite well. However, I disagree, because Ark Survival Evolved has two things that games like Rust don't. And that is, one, a leveling system, and two, freaking dinosaurs. So the leveling system is not exactly unique in its own right, but it's unique to its genre. There aren't any other games like Ark that also have a leveling system. And the way the leveling system works is quite simple. Every time you level up, you gain access to more engrams. Essentially, all you really need to know about an engram is it's a glorified crafting recipe. And you need these engrams, these crafting recipes, to build just about anything in the game at all. And with these crafting recipes being locked by level, you'll have to level up to certain levels to build certain things, even if you already have the resources. So for instance, say I'm a level 10 and I want to build a pistol, right? The pistol requires me to get 10 metal ingots and 50 wood. I have those resources, but in order to get the engram for the pistol, I need to be a level 30. So I can't build the pistol until I surpass level 30. Now, there are ways to get around this via blueprints and whatnot, but those are quite complex, and those are very much a bit of a more core gameplay aspect that's quite difficult to explain, and it's not really going to influence you that much anyway. But overall, the leveling system kind of promotes this this grind that you'll have to fulfill if you want to progress further. And one might argue again, well, wait a minute, Nate, didn't you just say that Ark offers a level of freedom? Didn't you just admit that one of the things you love about Ark is the developer's ability to say yes? And while that's true, the leveling system allows for this weird social, I guess you can say, the social element that you can't get anywhere else, that I think definitely plays to the game's advantage. So what'll happen with this leveling system is you'll see people that are level 90, they're always going to be ahead of the level 1s and the level 10s, you know, obviously so. Because, well, let's say there's a tribe of level 10s, right? And this tribe of level 10s has an exact equal amount of resources to a nearby tribe of level 60s. The amount of resources is completely equal, yet the power gap is still massive. Because this tribe of level 60s can manufacture weapons. They can get machine guns pumping out. They can get guns. They can get explosives. Whereas this tribe of level 10s is trying to get their spears ready, and they're throwing sticks at people. And it's quite unique to see these tribes that are oftentimes modernized military forces living right next to these cave people, in a sense. And then, when you join a new server, you will be one of these cave people. You'll start off as a low level. And the gradual progression from cave person to guy with an army of machine guns and tamed dinosaurs and weapons is quite, it's quite something to be proud of. You'll like it, and you'll appreciate the grind a lot more. Much more than a game like Destiny. Oh my god, I don't even want to speak about that. But it's quite a cool thing. I think the leveling system promotes a social gap that is definitely an advantage to Ark Survival Evolved, and it makes it a very rewarding one once you're able to surpass it. Furthermore, the other unique thing that Ark Survival Evolved has done is introduce dinosaurs to survival MMOs. So dinosaurs have a variety of functions that play out quite well into a game like Ark. The first big function that they offer is as a natural enemy. Essentially, there are two types of dinosaurs, carnivores and herbivores. Carnivores will always try and attack you on sight, no matter what. They will try and eat you, and you're always going to have to prepare to fight those. You can't just run into the wilderness naked, because you'll probably be eaten to death. So you always have to be prepared for those, and you'll always have to be building weapons to fight them, even if you're playing on a PvE server. Furthermore, herbivores don't try and attack you, and you can eat those for meat, and then you can obviously avoid starving to death. Now, the big thing about dinosaurs, though, much better than functioning as a natural opponent, is the fact that you can actually tame them and domesticate them, making them your de facto pet. And the thing about domesticating dinosaurs is each type of dinosaur has a unique level of stats and unique specialty that encourages you to tame them. For instance, a trike or a triceratops can be used to farm berries, which you can then eat. They also have a huge amount of carry weight, allowing you to use them almost as mules. Another type of dinosaur, for instance, the Argentavius, which is a gigantic flying turkey, is the best way I can explain it. You can use that to travel quickly from place to place while averting different geographical challenges. Another dinosaur that I like to use, the Giga, can be used in multiplayer battles when you're attacking people's bases in PvP. Dinosaurs are a pretty cool aspect of the game that are almost essential if you are playing PvP, but if you're playing PvE, you could probably get by without them. But just how practical they are is astounding, and you're definitely going to want to try and domesticate a few of these bad boys and make them yours, really. Personally, I must recommend Tame a Dodo. These things are so fluffy and cute. They're absolutely amazing. Anyway, guys, by combining Rust-like base settling and attacking with Jurassic Park dinosaurs and Call of Duty leveling, Ark Survival Evolved has successfully merged the old and familiar to create something new and unique in its own right, and you have to respect that. Altogether, if I had to give Ark Survival Evolved a 1-to-10 ratio, I would have to give it a 7. And I do that very conservatively, mind you. I am very, very conservative with how I rate games, and a 7 is definitely a generous one in my book. I definitely don't subscribe to the IGN philosophy of giving everything 10 out of 10, but this game is definitely worth a check out if you haven't already seen the game for yourself. It currently costs $30 over on Steam, $30 on the Xbox Live Marketplace, and it is still in early access, mind you, and unfortunately, as a result, it is not available on the PlayStation 4 just yet. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.